if you've noticed, but Five's a little...
Our little psycho.
Peace and greetings, Mr. Five here. So, got a little question, man. For the last 4 or 5 days, we have been watching this DNC, Democratic National Convention, create this sort of combination of people who we're supposed to be confident to vote in, right? This is my question. Where is the benefit for people of color? Where are the benefits for the 99% of Americans, right? I live in the hood. I live in the Bronx. I am not some movie star, film star who lives in Hollywood who is detached. My question is, where is the funding that will come in to help the community? Where's the opportunities for the Bronx, for Harlem, for Brooklyn, for New York, for other communities in this country? These people just spent like $3 trillion helping out their fucking friends, right? Okay, Kamala Harris, yeah, we've met her before.
And has not lived up to those values and must be reformed. Redemption, an age-old concept, right? In the Christian faith, but in many religions, which says, because it knows everyone will make a mistake. For some, that will rise to the level of being a crime. But is it not the sign of a civil society that you allow people their way to earn their way back and give them the support? So yes, there will be accountability, but there also must be a path. And I made a very conscious decision to become a prosecutor, knowing how broken and how unjust the criminal justice system of America can be. I created one of the first in the nation reentry initiatives, focused on what we must do, understanding that we have to allow people a way to come back to the community and give a path that includes focusing on education, focusing on job skills development, focusing on housing, focusing on the fact that so many are parents who have a natural desire to parent their children, even if not the resources or the skills.
Now, just to follow up on that a little bit, I'm going to read you a quote that you may recognize.
Okay.
America has a deep and dark history of people using the power of the prosecutor as an instrument of injustice. I know this history well, of innocent men framed, of charges brought against people without sufficient evidence, of prosecutors hiding information that would exonerate defendants, of the disproportionate application of the law. Do you recognize that quote?
Yes, I do.
This is from your recent memoir.
Yes, those are my words.
And I want you to reflect kind of on the theme of redemption that you just brought up,
Yeah.
and the fact that there are progressives who are looking at some of your prosecutorial record and identifying moments that didn't seem so progressive to them, and wondering how do you reconcile that with the decisions you have to make as a prosecutor, and what has changed since that time? What have you learned through the process of having to make hard decisions that didn't please everybody?
So when I created that initiative, people would say to me, why are you giving them jobs? Other people who have not committed any offense need jobs. People would say to me, you're supposed to be a prosecutor, which means you're supposed to be locking people up, not letting them out. And so, but it took a force of will, and I took some hard knocks for it, to say, no, we need to do better.
Yeah, she came to a criminal justice panel event. She's met with a few leaders. But what is the real promise for us as people of color or poor people? What is the real system that supports us? What do we benefit out of that truth? First of all, I'm not talking about the stimulus checks that some people got, right? And I'm not talking about the PPP that went to billionaire companies, no small black businesses who benefited from that program in an immense in which it was intended for. Not the CBOs who are doing the work and even doing right now the COVID-19 work. Aside from all of that, what benefit tangible that's going to matter right now? What matters in the Bronx? Even in Harlem, where our neighborhoods have been sort of bought up by other proprietorships, other businesses that are white-owned corporations that just hire us as part-time employees and really don't provide us with much resources and sometimes even prison labor food. So what has changed about that? What is our benefit? What do we get out of any of that? That $3 trillion has not impacted Harlem? And so I ask these questions because it's perplexing to me, because they put this team up, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, as what? We're supposed to vote for them? For what? What are we voting you for? We still need to burn this whole state and country and city down because of the ongoing slaughter of people of color still. The ongoing justice. Nothing has changed. What has benefited us? What? A bailout? No, we didn't get a bailout. They did. So when you're voting, and I insist that you vote in your own family vote, when you're voting this year, what are they giving us for our vote? What are they giving our community for what we need in our community to survive? Like right now, I'm doing PPE handouts, masks, gloves in my community. We do this as credible messages as a part of our life. Do you see any city organizations, agency out here helping doing that? No. What is going to be the benefit for black people and people of color with this team of Biden and Harris and this sort of convention that they spent $3 trillion on their friends, bailing out their fucking friends and the people who are rich? Now Biden's talking about increasing taxes for poor people. What's that plan? What's our benefit? We heard you speak about reprimands, but what are you doing? Just my thoughts. I'm just saying. It's Mr. Fox. Why we waiting? Like, get them buttons, bro. Yeah. Subscribe.
You know, right there. Tap it.
Tap them shits right there.
Tap that button.
Send me off, go and feed. Know me and a rat, but me I go there for the cheese. Do that up on my back, and you know them off for eat. So don't test me kill your blood clean.
Yeah, you hear me?
Me send me off, go and feed. Know me and a rat, but me I go there for the cheese. Do that up on my back, and you know them off for eat. So don't test me kill your blood clean. From the gully, get the youths I come up from the gully. Don't take talk on the streets, them we study. I count up the cash, tell mom if you not worry. I pray a different part and I chat it in a hurry from the gully. Get the youths I come up from the gully. Don't take talk on the streets, let me study. I count up the cash, tell mom if you not worry. I pray a different part and I chat it in a hurry. It started that first Christmas, ain't really get shit I asked for. My wish list was feeling typed down. So bro, she said they hit